Hello everyone. A very good morning to one and all, and a warm welcome to the next session on JavaScript. In today's session, we are going to cover the topics arrays in JavaScript. We are going to cover how to declare an array, how to create an array, how to initialize, and how to access the elements of an array in JavaScript. Before going to see today's session, let us revise the things what we have discussed in the previous session. In the last two sessions, we have covered the topics called as control statements in JavaScript. Before that one, we have covered operators in JavaScript. So we all know that the entire control statements are divided into three categories: selection statements, iterational statements, and jump statements. We know that selection statements in the sense two-way selection and multi-way selection. The example for two-way selection is if else, and the example for multi-way selection is switch case. Under iterational statements, there are three: while, do while, and for loop, where while is called as pre-condition checking or pre-conditional statement, and do while is called as post-conditional statement. If the body of the loop is executed after checking the condition, then it is called as precondition. If the body of the loop is executed before checking the condition, it is called as post condition. Along with that while and do while, we have one more thing called as for loop. And under jump statements, we have break and continue. So when we use break, it will bring the control out of the loop. And when we use continue, it will skip the current iteration, right? So in today's session, we are going to see about the concept called as arrays. Arrays are introduced in the programming languages where we can store multiple number of elements which are of same data type under a single name. So we can also say collection of homogeneous elements is called as an array. Collection of homogeneous elements. So the same type of elements, a collection of same type of elements is called as an array. Same type in the sense they can be integers, they can be floating point numbers, they can be the characters, etc. Right? So in JavaScript, this is the definition. An array is an object that can store a collection of items. So there will be some collection of items. All these items are stored under a name and it is called as an object. An array is an ordered set of data elements which can be accessed through single variable name. So the thing was already covered in all the previous languages also, where we will have a name. Under the name, we will have multiple number of indices. Under each and every index, one value will be stored. So we can access all the values by using a common name. So here that's what they are mentioning, that it is a single variable name, but there will be difference in the index value. By using that, we can access the array. You can access the data elements either sequentially by reading from the starting of the array or by using their index, right? So what will happen is, for example, if something called as if a of 10 is an array, right? If a of 10 is an array, and the indexes will be created from a of 0, right? A of 0 to a of 9. As all we know that array index will start with 0 and ends it in -1. Here the n value is 10, so it will end at a of 9. So there will be indices a of 0, a of 1, a of 2, a of 3, and so on, a of 9, right? So we can access all the indices either sequentially, right? We can access all the indices either sequentially or by using the index of an array. So we can access any one of the element inside an array by using the index value, or we can access the element sequentially from value to the ending value, right? So let us move to the next point. The basic operations that are performed on arrays are creating arrays, adding elements to an array, accessing array members, right? So these things are performed in all the programming languages. First one, we need to create an array, and then we have to add some elements to that array, and we need to access the elements of that array, right? So let us have a look at how arrays can be created in JavaScript. Parallelly, let us do some program on arrays in JavaScript. Let us discuss one point on the PPT, and let us do the same point on a program, so that it will be very easy to grasp the things regarding arrays in JavaScript, right? So among the basic three operations, that is the creation of an array, accessing the elements of an array, and initializing the elements of that array. Among those three, the first one, creation of array. Let us see how arrays can be created in JavaScript. There are three ways to construct arrays in JavaScript. In JavaScript, there are three ways to construct arrays. The first one is by using array literal. The second one is by creating an instance of an array directly. And the third thing, by using an array constructor. Let us see the things one by one. Among the three ways, this is the first way, by array literal. So here is the syntax of creating an array by using an array literal. We all know that in JavaScript there is no int, there is no float, there is no char. Instead of that, among all the variables can be defined by using a common keyword called as var, variable. So we have to use var, which will represent a variable, and then we have to give some name for that variable, and if that name stores only a single value, then it is a normal variable. When the same name stores multiple number of values, that will be an array. So here we have to use var keyword followed by variable name equal to the values which we want to store inside that array, or should be represented in the RHS. Value 1, value 2, value 3, and so on, value n. So this is what we can create an array by using array literal, right? Let us see the next one. Here we have, they have taken one example. Here the name of the array variable is cars, and the cars, they are going to store three values: Saab, Volvo, and BMW. So the particular three values are stored inside an array at index 0, right, at index 1 and index 2. If we want to access the elements, we need to use the array variable name. Here you can see array variable name is cars, and if we want to access the first element, we need to give cars of 0, and if we want to access the second element, we need to give cars of 1, and if we want to access the third element, we need to give cars of 2. So this is how we can access the elements of an array. So this is how the elements will also be stored inside an array. So when we create an array by using array literal, that is by using a var keyword followed by name of the array, and then inside if we store some values, these values will be stored at index 0, index 1, and the next value will be stored at index 2, and next value will be stored at index 3, and the last value, nth value, will be stored at index number n minus 1. This is common in all the programming languages, not only in JavaScript. Now, right now, let us see the next point. Right, before going to see the next point, let us do the same thing inside the programming window so that it will be very easy to grasp the things. So let us create three arrays, right? Let us create three arrays in a program. Among the three arrays, let us use these three methods to create those three arrays. Let us start with a HTML and head tag and title tag. My title is arrays. Closing the title tag, closing the head tag, right? And now opening the body tag. Inside the body tag, I am going to write the script tag because we want to write some JavaScript code here, right? Inside the script tag, let us write a variable. Name of the variable is CSC, and it is going to store some values called as 501, 502, 503, 504. So these are the values I want to store inside the variable CSC. Now CSC is an array because it has stored four values: 501, 502, 503, and 504, where these four values are stored at, right, are stored at CSC of 0, it will store 501, CSC of 1, it will store 502, CSC of 3, it will, sorry, CSC of 2, it will store 503, and CSC of 3, it will store 504. So this is generally what happens when we create an array. For example, if I want to print any value of that array, I can simply use document dot write ln, document dot write ln. I want to print the value at index number 2. So the value at index number 2 is, it is the value at index number 0, it is a value at index number 1, and 50 is the value at index number 2. So I want to print the value at index number 2. So simply I can give document.write ln of CSC of 2, it will print 503 over the output screen. So after writing the required script code, I am closing this JavaScript tag, and I am closing this body tag, closing this HTML tag. Now I want to save the code, right? I want to save the code. It has a.html, array.html, array.html, sorry, html, right? So it is going to be saved at documents. Now I want to open the documents. Here we have array.html. I'm making a double click on this one in order to view the output of the code. You can see here it has printed 503 as output of the code because we have accessed the elemented CSC of 2. We have accessed the elemented index number 2. What I have to do if I want to print all the elements of that array, so I can simply provide, right? I can simply provide four things. First one is 0, next one is 1, next one is 2, and next one is 3. So if I save the code and if I make a refresh here, it will print all the values of this array. It is okay because we are having only 4 values. It is okay. We can write the document.writeLN statement for 4 times. What is the thing if we have 400 values? So how to print those 400 values? So for printing those 400 values, we have to use document.writeLN statement for 400 times. It will increase the length of the program. It will waste a lot of time for the programmer, right? In spite of writing the things for n number of times, if we are able to execute the same statement again and again by using the iteration loops, we can print any number of values in any number of instances. Right here, if you observe, the value or entire statement is similar, but value is only changing. At the same time, the value is also going to be incremented by 1. So instead of writing n number of same statements, let us write only one statement. In that one statement, use a variable name, right? Use a variable and use one iteration loop for int, right? Int I equal to 0. So we have to start from index number 0. That's why I'm providing the value I equal to 0, and then I less than something called as 4, because we have 4 elements. We are giving I less than 4, and then I plus plus. We are incrementing the value of I each and every time by 1, right? Simply by writing this type of code, we can print all the elements of this particular array. And if we have 400 element, just by including 2 zeros, it can print the values up to first element to 400 elements. If we include one more zero, it is ready to print 4000 elements. That is the power of control statements. I am saving this code and I am making a refresh here. Just a second. Yeah, now let us execute. There is no problem here. It will execute for sure. Let us make a refresh here. Right, if you observe, it has printed the values from uh, index number 0 to index number 3, right? So this is the first way of creating an array by using an array literal, and this is how we can initialize the values into that array. And by using this type of statement, we can print all the elements of that array from index number 0 to index number n minus 1. Now let us look at the second type of creating arrays. right? So the second type of creating arrays is that by creating instance of an array directly. So it is the syntax of creating instance of an array directly. So we have to use a var keyword followed by array variable name equal to new keyword and array open braces, closed braces, and semicolon. So this is the way we generally follow while creating arrays in Java programming language. In Java programming language, we can create an array similar to this one. Data type space array variable name equal to new data type of size, right? So in JavaScript, we use the particular syntax in order to create an array, new array name equal to var array name equal to new array. Now let us look at one example here. So if you see the example, here they have given var, and here the array variable name is stu equal to new array, where we can initialize that array by using the index, right? So if we want to store the first, if we want to fill the first index, we need to use array variable name is stu. So stu of 0 equal to something, it will be stored at first index, and then it will be next thing will be stored at second index, and so on. So this is the second way of creating an array in JavaScript, right? So let us move to the programming window here, right? So let us create an array by using the second way. var, my array name is csc, which is equal to new array semicolon. So this is the way we can create an array by using directly by using uh, instance of that array, right? One second, just a second. Now let us initialize this particular array. So if you want to store at the first index, right here you can see, if you want to store at the first index, you need to give array variable name index value equal to the value which we want to store in that particular index. So csc of something called as 0 equal to csc of 0 equal to something 501, and then csc of 1 equal to 502, csc of 2 equal to 503, right? So this is how we can initialize the values into the created array here. Now similar to the previous thing, if I want to print some value, right? If I want to print some value which is at particular index, I can use document dot write ln, right? csc of, if I want to print the value which is at index number 0, I can simply give document dot write ln of csc of 0. It will print the value at index number 0. I'm saving this code, and I'm going to see the output of this code, right, where the program name is array.html. So I'm making a double click on this one in order to view the output. If you observe, it has printed the value 501, because 501 is the value which is stored at index number 0, right? And then let us see the PPT, and let us move to the third type of creating an array. So the third way is by using an array constructor we can create an array. So here, by using the array constructor, in the sense, previously we have given variable, one second, previously we have given var keyword array name equal to new array, and we have closed without giving any parameters. Now, if you give some values directly, that is the way of creating an array by using an array constructor, right? So uh, let us see an example. Variable some array name equal to new keyword array, and then within the braces we can view the values related to that array, right? Let us work this one in the window, right? Instead of giving like this, if we can, if we give the values here, right? If you give the values here, it will be the array which was created by using the array constructor. If I want to print the value which is at index number 4, I can simply give CSC of 4. It will print the value which is at index number 4. Let us make a double click here. So if you observe, it has printed the value 505, because at 505, sorry, at CSC of 4, that means in array name is CSC and index value is 4. At that particular index, 505 is there, so it has printed 505, right? Now let us move to the PPT here. Adding elements to an array. So JavaScript allows to add elements to an array at any position, right? We can add array at any position. You can see the example. In this example, we have values which belongs to different data types. For example, it belongs to integer, it belongs to floating point, and it is a string, and it is a string. So it is the beauty of JavaScript. It will allow to have the values of different data types under a single name. But whereas in the case of other programming languages, they don't allow the thing, right? They only allow the values which belongs to the same data type under a single name. But in JavaScript, we can have uh, different types of values under a single name, right? Next one. Similarly, this is one way. This is the one way of having the values inside an array by simply giving during the creation of an array. And after the creation of an array also, we can add some more elements by using this particular syntax. That means we can use the array name, we can use some syntax number, and we can use some value. So this particular value will be stored at this particular index, right? So coming to the next one, similarly we can have any value at any index. So here there is no mandate to go sequentially. It is not a mandate to add the element at first position and then add the element at second position and then add the element at third position. Then only we can add the element at fourth position. This is not the way. Here we can have any value at any number of position. We can have the value at first position, and then we can have the next value at 100th position. That is our opinion. And next one, accessing array members. So you can access the array items in an array by referring to its index number. As we seen right now in the program, in order to access the element at index 3, we can give array name within the braces index number. If you want to access the element at different index, we can use that index number and we can access the elements of that array. Okay. So if you observe here, there is a data which is an array which is storing 1020.3 ABD Suresh. So if someone has written document.write of data of 3, that means inside the data array, we are going to access the value which is at index number 3. If you see here, it is the value at index number 0, it is the value at index number 1, and it is the value at index number 2, and it is the value at index number 3. So it will print Suresh as an output of this particular code. Right, coming to the next one, there are different methods, right? With this, I am going to close today's session, right? This methods topic can be discussed in tomorrow's session, right? Just a second. There is only one PPT. So let us complete this one first. Let us complete this one. After that, we can move to the, after that, we can close the session. So these are the methods where we can use on arrays in JavaScript. So there are many more methods. Here I have only represented only 6 methods, right? So by using these 6 methods, we can do something called as, for example, if I want to find the length, right? If I want to find the length in the sense, how many number of elements are present in the array, I can use the length method. And if I want to reverse the elements in an array, I can use the reverse method. If I want to sort the elements of an array, I can use sort method either in ascending order or in descending order. I think it is in ascending order. Sort method is used to sort the numbers in ascending order, right? Pop method, there is one more method called pop method. It is used to remove the last element of the array. Last element. If there are 10 elements, it will remove the 10th element of the array. And shift method, it will remove the element at first position. First element will be removed by using the shift method. And we have a push method, right? This push method will add a value at the as the last item. For example, if I have 10 values, if I use the push method to add a value, it will be added at 11th position. Right? These are some of the methods on the arrays where we can use for our need. If I want to find the length, I can use the length method. If I want to reverse the elements of that array, I can use the reverse method. And if I want to sort the elements of that array, I can use sort method. If I want to delete the last element of that array, I can use pop. And if I want to delete the first element of that array, I can use shift. And if I want to add some element at the last position of an array, I can use push method, right? So with this, I'm going to close today's session. Hope you all enjoyed today's session. I think the session may be a little bit boring because this is the topic which is covered in all the previous programming languages. I think you are thinking about the concept of arrays from 1.1 to 4.2, right? So I really thank each and every listener for being here. In the next class, we will meet with a new topic. Thank you for being here. Have a good day.